Grab your glasses, everybody. It's time for a Moonshine Safari. Welcome, everybody, to Moonshine Safari. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
And we welcome you to episode 13.
Episode 13.
Our lucky 13. Can't believe we made it this far, but we have. And
Here we are.
Here we are. That's right. And not going away anytime soon. Too bad. I'm sure some of you are thinking that. But if you're here listening, yeah, good luck. All right. So, hey, we're so glad you're here. And we'd like to start out with some shout outs. Hey, you know what? Dina's father had a birthday. How old is your dad?
My father just turned 78 years old.
78 years old. Well, happy birthday. We wish you all the best. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, Mom and Dad are both 78, so.
Oh, yeah. So, well, your mom had a birthday
in August.
In August. And I think we did a shout out for her for that. So, absolutely. Now, we also had, of course, another shout out. Shout out to Arizona Dukes of Air. This is a AC company here in the Valley. And we had some little issues here at the Moonshine Safari Studios.
Which seems to happen to us every year at this time of the year for some reason.
Oh my gosh, it's like Labor Day, sometime in September.
We have air conditioner issues.
Yes, we had this air conditioner replaced less than a year ago. And some things started happening, and yeah, we had to call people out. Well, and you'll get to the peeve. Well, we called the company that installed it. Well, it's kind of a weird, I guess, business arrangement that they have. The service part with the
other
install.
Company.
Right. The install is separate from. Anyway, I'm not going to name any names, but because the install people dealt with us last year was wonderful. This is really the first time we've had to deal with the service company side. Yeah, they're
not so much.
Not so much. And we'll talk about that in the peeve of the week. But great big shout out to Arizona Dukes of Air and Anthony, who was our tech. Man, he was awesome. He was early. He was prompt. As far as getting stuff done, he cleaned it up. He gave us some great advice on our
future
stuff.
Service and
he was great. He was just in and out, and it was a great experience all the way around. So you know what? If you have any AC needs or anything like that, we highly recommend here at Moonshine Safari, Josh and Dean and I, at this point, because, you know, things can change. At this point, their customer service is right on the money. So check out.
They got out here. They got it fixed. We got it running. And for anybody who's not from Arizona or hasn't been here, it's still hot.
Right.
We need the air conditioner.
It's just now today starting to cool down and be below 100 degrees. So, but let me just tell you, it's, I'll just tell you a story. It's like the air conditioning was not working, and we called the, quote, you know, the service company. They acted like I was bothering them, and they couldn't get anybody out there till the next day. But we have some medical issues here at Moonshine Safari Studios, and we need the house to be cool, and they just couldn't do that. Well, thankfully, it started to cool again for a few hours before, and then the sun went down, and it only got up into about 82, but it was fine through the night. It wasn't the best. You can kind of deal
in the night at that point. Honestly, had it been like August, we would have had to have someone out, or we would have had to sleep somewhere else.
Or we would have gone to a hotel if we had to.
It gets too hot still.
It's just too hot. So I got on their website. I checked on Yelp, and they get one of the best reviews out there. I think the second best review. Hopefully, let's push them to the first. Maybe they can earn it. They contacted me, and I told them I'd be up early. They called me before their hours of operation, which was awesome, and said, hey, we'll have somebody. This is their name. They'll be out there. They'll call you before they come out. And he called me 15 minutes before you were supposed to show up and go, hey, you know, I could be there. I'm like, come on. And yeah, we all had everything squared away, and he double checked some stuff. Man, I tell you what, great service there. So Arizona Dukes of Air, you have our business here at Moonshine Safari for now, and we appreciate what you did. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. It was awesome.
All right, coming up, what are we listening to? Hang tight.
What's Josh listening to?
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
And you have stumbled upon our What Have We Been Listening To section. And this is about music. And it's going to be a little different this time because I've been listening to some stuff and Dina's been listening to some stuff. But we went and saw some stuff about listening to some stuff. Well, we'll explain that in just a few minutes. It was really cool. This was a really cool movie that we went and saw on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday. It was amazing. But anyway, I have been basically, and I don't know why, it's just, I've been really digging this song, Soulshine, I've been listening to all the different renditions. It was written by Warren Haynes, who was a part of the Allman Brothers Band, Warren Haynes Band, and now Government Mule. So I've been listening to all of the different renditions, and I just had it on repeat. It's just a song that's just, I don't know, maybe it's trying to teach me something. Maybe it's trying to say, hey, Josh, you need to get your butt together, and I don't know what it is, but it's something that's been just put me in a good mood. It's like upbeat. It's a little emotional. I don't know why I've been listening to it, but it's been on repeat. So that's what I've been listening to. Dina, what you been listening to?
Well, as you started to talk about, this past week we went to a biopic that was released, pretty limited release in different theaters for the Joan Jett Bad Reputation, like biopic. So
yes, and it was so
it was
good.
Really interesting, and
It was good.
I'm a huge fan of biopics in general. Like, even if they're groups that I never listened to, I find the stories behind the groups fascinating typically. So I will watch almost any biopic out there. So anyway, it was great. It was interesting. We learned a lot about her in general, and it put me in the mood to listen to Joan Jett music. So that's what I've been listening to.
Yeah, when you watch stuff about Joan Jett and how she fought, for her whole life.
They didn't take her seriously.
And she's still fighting. I mean, she's still
fighting. She's
fighting.
a girl.
She just turned 62, so happy birthday, Joan Jett.
Happy
She just
birthday,
turned 60.
Joan Jett.
And big thumbs up on the movie. You know what? Here's the thing, too. I like Joan Jett's music, and some of you who might be listening to this and you go there and you go, yeah, but, I don't really care for the politics or some of the stuff she stands on. Hey, you know what? That's cool. I don't either. There's some stuff I don't agree with her here and what she stands for, can't stand. And that's okay, but you know what's great? She can, and I can still like her music, and it's okay.
Here's the thing. I mean, even friends you have or family members or whatever, you're not going to agree with everything that everybody always says. It doesn't mean you can't appreciate them for what they do well.
And you may have an argument of why, well, you shouldn't support her music because, and she's just going to use that money to do blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, okay, then never buy anything because you don't ever know where every single cent of that money is going to go and end up. So don't ever do anything except do your own. I mean, let's be realistic here. But anyway, I'm getting off on a rant, but it was great.
It was interesting.
I think the best thing or the biggest thing I took away, I felt like she fought so hard back in the day being a female rocker.
Just to be acknowledged, really.
She was acknowledged a lot by her peers, but it was more in the producers and the record companies. And
just blew her off.
They just didn't take her seriously. And
they had to basically create their own label in order to sell the records because the record producers of the time, which we're talking 70s, early 80s, thought women couldn't do that.
It's just insane, but it's the most insane thing. It's like I thought record companies were in the business to make money and make records.
And clearly her records made money.
And even if it was an underground type of thing, I mean, that even sparks even more interest. And, if you sold 2,000 records of Joan Jett, that's 2,000 more records than you sold than you sold yesterday. So, I mean, I know that costs money and stuff, but I mean, she's obviously so talented, and look how far along. Actually, Dean and I saw her this year at the Good Life Festival.
Yeah,
we went to
that was awesome.
In Cantera. We saw her in the Good Life Festival. We'd seen Leonard Skinner there the year before, and that was amazing. But Joan Jett, I just tell you, she gets up there with her Gibson. Here I go, guitar geeking. Gibson Les Paul Jr. and she had a Gibson 335, looked like a custom shop. Oh, it's beautiful, and it's red, and it's got black flame in it. Oh, anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. She can rock out at 60 years old, man. She just jams, and she still plays it with the same passion as you can see back in the videos off of MTV back in the day, with her hair all spiked out and stuff, looking cool. Okay, that's the music. That's what we've been listening to, and some plugs for the Joan Jett stuff. Oh, and another kind of maybe a little shout out to Alamo Draft House down Tempe, man. You guys know how to do it right.
That's our favorite movie place.
Well, that's the first time we went to the one in Tempe.
We've been to the one in Chandler.
And the one in
They
Tempe
call it Phoenix,
has recliners in that one. The one that we usually go to sometime in Chandler does not have the recliner. So, hey, Chandler, yeah, do some upgrades because they got you over there in Tempe. Anyway, coming up, Funny of the Week. Dina's going to tickle your funny bone.
Ah.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari. It's Funny of the Week. Dina, take it away.
Well, I noticed Josh standing on the bathroom scale, sucking in his stomach. Ha, that's not going to help, I said. Josh said, sure it does. It's the only way I can see the numbers.
Get ready to get your britches in a bunch. It's time for Peeve of the Week.
Hey, Dina.
Yeah, Josh.
I'm peeved.
Shocking.
I know, right? Hey, guys. Welcome back to Moonshine Safari. And you have stumbled across Peeve of the Week. And we've got one. If you listened,
We've got lots,
yeah,
really.
I know, right? A little earlier to our intro, we had some issues with our AC. And we called the service side of the company that, well, of the install company, but whatever they got going on anyway. And they were just, we were just bothering them. Anyway. But their name kind of ensued. I'm not going to tell you what their name is, but they just, the name ensue or gives you the implication that, yeah, they're going to be there.
They're all about service.
They're going to be there no matter what, all the time. Lickety split and all that good stuff. But yeah, unless you call them and actually need them. Yeah.
Not
so
much.
Here's the thing, companies, and I know things happen, and you have a limited amount of employees, and I get that. I understand because I've been in the service business. I totally get it. You can't make everybody happy. I get it. Totally understand. But if you're going to advertise something and you're going to put yourself out there as being that company, you better be that company.
But at least, okay, so for some reason they can't say make it within a certain time frame. At least with your attitude, show that you are trying to accommodate. Don't be the person that when you call the company, they act like your business is not worth their time.
I get it. You might be there might be an hourly employee making $10.50 an hour and they just don't give a crap about the business because, they just care about their paycheck. It's not a life thing for them.
That starts at the top. That needs
But it
to,
does. That's the attitude that starts. I mean, a person who really cares wouldn't have hired someone like that, usually. But so, yeah, my peeve is companies who boast about their service, but they don't have it. And then they don't back it up. So, service, words mean nothing. Actions mean everything. That's why Arizona Dukes of Air got a shout out. And the other company got the peeve. So, all right, coming up, pro tip.
Get out your notepads. It's time for Pro Tip of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
Hey, I just got to tell you guys something. I'm having a wonderful beverage right now. It is.
I had a taste of it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm going to have to probably, and it gave me an inspiration to create another drink that maybe I'll try. It may not be as good, but I might feature this on another one, but I'm just saying that I won't tell you the exact mixture, but it is Old Smoky's Blackberry Moonshine with some vanilla vodka. And it's quite tasty. On the rocks. Anyway, hey, it's Pro Tip of the Week.
Pro tip.
Well, Pro Tip of the Week actually popped up on Friday on me because there was something that happened in my other business that I thought was being taken care of automatically. And when you think something is being taken care of automatically, you better check to make sure that it's being taken care
because
of.
You put it out of mind and then, yeah.
Right. You can't always trust everything that is automatic. And most of the time things work, but some things fall through the cracks. And what I'm talking about is data backup. Okay. So I have a subscription.
That's a big one.
It is a big one. I'm responsible for keeping tabs on some of my clients' data and things like that. So I have backup on backup on backup kind of thing. I have a cloud backup. I have my computer hard drive, and then I have a separate external hard drive, and all of those get saved. I went to make sure that my cloud backup was constantly doing. I hadn't checked it in a while. In fact, it'd been a few months that I updated the actual app that was on my computer. I remember doing that. And I thought, I just ignored it. And I clicked on it, and I noticed it wasn't in that little tray that's of the programs that are running in your background.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, what's that? So I went to look. Guess what I found out?
Not.
Yeah, the credit card had expired, and somehow I must have missed the notice, and it didn't renew. So my cloud backup was not working.
There was no cloud.
There was no cloud. There was nothing in the cloud. The cloud, she was empty. She was empty. I rectified the situation with the remedy of adding a updated credit card, and boom, off went started copying my files, and it took like half the day.
Yep.
And now we're all caught up. So the pro tip is, look, guys, information is important, and especially when you have those hackers. I'm nobody. I don't have a lot of stuff like that, important kind of stuff. But it's important to them, to the person who wants me to save it. My stuff's important to me. Your stuff's important to you. And there are people out there who are trying to steal our stuff and hack it and hold it for ransom. Hey, well, you know what? If you have it in 3 different places or 4 different places,
they can't take it from you.
They can have that part, but then so you have it too. So yeah, they can go screw themselves. Anyway, pro tip: back up your stuff.
Yep, I've
several areas
actually not done it before and lost months worth of data in my job. So I would absolutely back Josh up in this.
You should do that with your phones too.
Yep.
Big time, especially when you're switching over. Got a new phone. Dina just had to get a new phone recently, and that was a big hassle, of course, moving all your contacts and everything over and stuff like that. But find a good app, find some backup that stuff constantly, your contacts, all that, because sometimes it doesn't come over right whenever they do the change.
Yeah, so, I missed a few actually.
Yeah,
a few contacts.
Yeah, so make sure back your stuff up. You'll save a ton of time. It takes just a few seconds to just click that boom and then walk away. Do it. All right, coming up, let's pick up where our story left off. Come back, listen to Josh and Dina's story.
Shh, quiet and listen. It's time for Marriage Story of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dina.
And you've stumbled across the continuation of our, what do you want to call it? Story.
Our
track
journey,
our Moonshine Safari.
Right, our safari.
It's our Moonshine Safari.
Our lifetime Moonshine Safari.
Right, it's our Moonshine Safari. Well, if you tuned in last week, which we really hope you did, and you know what? Right now, if you could just stop. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. If you're on Spotify, do the thing. Wherever you're listening to this, do what you need to do to subscribe, and please share with your friends if you'd like. That would be okay.
And don't forget, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Right.
We're going to start Gab.
Yeah, gab.com.
I just
Free
haven't
speech.
started it yet, but I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So we, like I said, we're building a community here, and so we're hoping that you'll join.
Slowly but surely. Yeah. Slowly but surely. A community, not a cult. Right?
A community, not a cult. Well, I will never ask you to drink any Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Here, try some of this moonshine.
That's different.
Right. So, yeah, and thank you for all your support and liking our stuff and everything, and we really appreciate that, and it means a lot to us. So last time we went back and visited the song that the Maid of Honor, your friend Jen, sang, which was a very appropriate song. It describes our relationship so well because we're so close as friends too. But where we left off before that was
Josh's news,
where, remember, I had lost my job and things were crazy and nutty, and we were living with my parents, and found out Dina.
And I had a brick phone. And
That's
I had
right,
to
right, she had a brick
call
phone.
Josh.
Right, on my beeper, my pager.
Yep.
Right.
And he called me back, and I
tell
had,
me.
because I couldn't wait. And because I was worried, as we talked about before, about telling him that Robin was on her way.
On her way, right. Well, we didn't know it was Robin yet. I figured it was a girl. You pretty much figured it was a girl. We were on the same page, and guess what? It was a girl. well, she used to say when she was little, somebody broke her stick off.
She did.
That's what she used to say. So what happened after that? Well, I had to get a job. I think we talked about that.
You
I
were
got
already working, though.
Yeah, I got a job within the first week after I got that one, and then I think we talked about working at Walgreens.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but,
it was not your favorite job, but you got a job.
no, I got a job, and then I was at Walgreens when you actually gave birth. So
Yeah, well, during that time, so we were living with your parents, obviously.
whew,
And
challenges.
it was challenging. I mean, we were young and obviously trying to be super independent, but we weren't because we were living with his parents.
Yeah,
So it was frustrating for us because we're trying to sort of be independent, but you know, when parents have their kids at home, that's not how they see kids. So
it is a challenge.
It's a struggle.
Yeah. Especially since I never lived away from home. I moved away for
A few months,
a few months,
and then moved back.
and then ended up moving back, and then
Well, and then when we moved back, the idea was it was just going to be a few weeks until the house was done, but then we
Right.
had to let the house go, and then
it
it was
ended up
just,
being
it
a
ended up
little
being
while.
a little bit longer.
yeah, and then that's always a challenge because your parents, you know, you feel like you're an adult now, and you know, but it's still your parents' house, and you're still their child, so you don't understand that. I didn't understand. I was too young and ignorant and arrogant to understand really what a big thing my parents were doing for us. And for that matter, your parents let us live with them for a while too. Your parents did,
Well, they helped us get into the apartment
right.
at the time, which
So-
was such a huge deal for
Yeah.
us.
So, I mean, it was always been nice to really have parents to support us in the times that,
Yes.
that we needed it.
We've been incredibly lucky.
Very
and,
blessed.
you know, I was pregnant now, so my first pregnancy, I
Yep.
was sleeping between 12 and 14 hours a day. I was sleeping so much.
That was only about 3 hours less than she normally sleeps.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
I just remember I was tired all the time. Like I said, I'd never been pregnant before. That was other than that, I felt pretty good during my pregnancies. My pregnancies themselves are pretty okay.
I love when you say that because that's not how I ever picture any of it. Because I always think your pregnancies have been ridiculous and crazy. Because I don't, and I know what you're doing. I know what you're saying. The actual pregnancy itself was not that big a deal, but you were having gallbladder attacks during the pregnancy, which was scaring the crap out of everybody.
Well, yeah, it was.
So to me,
That was the only.
to me, that's not your pregnancy going okay. And it was easy because I remember several times running you to the emergency room. In fact, I remember it must have been when we were at Villa Fiesta.
Yes, it was.
And we had a silver Ford Tempo that used to be a rental car. Yeah. So you know how that
You
was
did a great job
man.
on that one.
But to be fair, it wasn't a bad car. I mean, it really wasn't that bad of
Well,
a car.
other than when it just stopped,
Well, it was.
everything just died in the
It
middle
gave
of.
up. It gave up. Anyway, so she's in crazy pain. We don't know what's going on with her. I'm scared. She's scared. We think maybe it's the baby. We don't know what's going on. You know, she's getting sick. I'm driving. I remember making that left turn off of Southern and going towards the hospital. And as I'm making a turn, Dina's getting sick. She's got the door open. And I can hear it hitting the ground. See, the cool thing about Dina is, I'll let you a little secret, is Dina makes no sound when she vomits. The only sound that is made is whatever's coming out, whatever that's hitting, is the sound. She makes no growl. She makes no grunt. She makes no cough. She makes no nothing. Nothing.
Which is opposed to Josh, and for that matter, Robin. When they
Robin coughs
vomit,
more.
they roar like lions.
Yeah, well, I can't help that. That's just
I'm
what
not
happens.
saying you can. It's just crazy
That's just what
loud.
happens. They just said, well, you know, and well, I guess you're my opposite.
In that way,
You're my opposite. We balance each other because I scream when I vomit and she makes no sound. Well, anyway, we found out later, you know, that it was her gallbladder acting up, but you know, that was kind of scary and frightening. But kind of to get back to, you know, the living situation and the challenges that, you know, kind of what we had. It seems to me, in my memory, that was a long period of time. But when you really look back on it,
It wasn't.
there was not a long period of time between actually when we got married and then we got our first house. If you really think about it,
No, because Robin was 1
right?
when she had just turned 1 when we moved into our first house.
So so we'd been married 2 years.
We had moved quite a bit, to be fair. I mean,
Maybe that's why I felt like it was so long
what is
because
that? 3 apartments I can think of, and
Was it 3?
Staying with your mom once and staying with my mom once. So we lived in 5 places before in those 2 years. Yeah,
that's
that
why
was
it seems so
exhausting.
long. That must be why.
That was exhausting.
Oh gosh, yeah. Because I remember that we could move our set. Well, the first place we lived, we could move everything in my little Ranger pickup truck. We could put just about everything that we owned in our car and our truck. Because I remember when we moved from that place, that when we took all of our stuff from there to my mom's house, it all fit in her garage and in my truck and in the car. And as we moved each place, we had to get. Then we got that
Bigger
little
and bigger,
Toyota U-Haul. No, we got the little the trailer first. Then we got the little U-Haul. Then we got the medium-sized U-Haul. Then we got the big U-Haul. And then we got so much stuff we'd have to hire people and get a big giant truck because we have too much junk. Anyway, so that's
Well,
that's
and
kind of in
also
betweens. Yeah.
leading up to the birth of Robin,
Mm-hmm.
I was not the only one having medical issues. Josh had a big medical issue.
I did, but you know what? I think we should save that for next time.
It's an interesting story.
It is an interesting story. The interesting story is, I could have died, and Dina didn't care. So
All right, then
listen,
you have to go
listen, listen next week if you want to hear
Deal.
how apathetic Dina was about my impending illness. All right. Well, coming up, I'm going to get
I'm
hit
being
so hard.
maligned.
All right. Coming up, it's the Moonshine Safari. Let me tell you, man, we hit gold. We'll be right back.
Pull out your mason jars for Moonshine Safari.
Welcome
drinks
back,
and
everybody, to
recipes.
Moonshine Safari. I am Josh.
I'm Dina.
Hey, you have hit the mother lode of the Moonshine Safari. My goodness. You know, it's kind of a combo Moonshine Safari shout out, right? Remember when we told you, if you can't go on a Moonshine Safari, have the Moonshine Safari come to you.
That's right.
And again, yet again, we had a wonderful, thanks to Dina, and her wonderful tracking skills.
My detective
You're a
skills.
moonshine tracker is what you are. You're like Clayton. Anyway,
That's a Tarzan reference, in case anyone's
Yeah.
looking.
Clayton. Sundevil Liquors in Mesa.
Mesa.
Hey, guys, I'm going to give you a great big shout out. Wow, you just really made this weekend happen awesome. So we ended up with 5 jars of some that kind of old smoky, hard to find, like the dodo bird kind of drink called Hunch Punch.
Hunch Punch.
They ended up getting some cases from the distributor, and they shared one with us. So we got one of that. We got a couple of orange and a couple of white lightning because it is so
Because
delicious.
when I called, the guy said, "Are you the lady that asked about the Hunch Punch before?" And I said, "Yes."
Yes, and you know what? They got some, and they remembered us, and we got it. They delivered it to us on Friday before Shabbat. So you know what? We had our Shabbat on. It was great, and we appreciate that. So big shout out to Sundevil Liquors and our Moonshine Safari. Thank you, Dina, for. I know we didn't have any real recipe, but that's what Moonshine Safari is about, y'all. It's like going out and finding it if you can.
Right.
So stay tuned, and maybe next week we'll have another recipe. If you haven't heard of any of our recipes, check out our website at moonshinesafari.com. Listen to the past episodes. Look at the descriptions in the YouTube channels or Spotify. There might be some little nuggets here and there.
If you have some ideas, we'd also like to hear yours.
Ooh, yeah, we'll try stuff. Yeah, if you have an idea, what's something you've tried something that maybe we haven't featured, absolutely give us some ideas. We'll love to do that. If we do, we'll feature you on that, and we might even send you a little something from Moonshine Safari Studios. Okay? Well, that's it. That's all I got. Dina, what about you?
I think that's it for now.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you for making this a success, and we look forward to seeing you next week here on Moonshine Safari.
See you guys.
Shine on, everybody.
Hey y'all, welcome to Moonshine Safari. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as well as check the description for information on our social media sites, as well as our Patreon account to help support our adventures in the Moonshine Wilderness.